sequel that's hopefully as good. Here we go. Happy Death Day to You. So Happy Death Day to You is, I guess, a Valentine's movie we get on Valentine's Day. It once again stars Jessica Rothe as someone who broke the cycle of reliving the same day over and over and over again and getting killed by a killer, and every time she got killed by a killer, she had to relive that same day over and over and over again. But something happens to where now she has to relive that same day from Happy Death Day 1 over and over and over again. Some things are different, which I really enjoyed that this movie did that, because I've always thought about that. It's essentially dealing with a multiverse. So this movie plays that up, and now let the mystery begin. And that's what this movie is. I mean, it's the sequel to a slasher flick meets Groundhog Day, but it's not really a slasher movie. It doesn't feel like a slasher movie. It doesn't feel like Scream meets Groundhog Day. It's its own thing now. It's kind of going its own direction. It has slasher movie elements, sure, but this sequel really goes its own way to carve its own path as its own movie, its own franchise. But when I walked out of the movie, I was like, the killer was kind of underwhelming again, because that was my sentiment on the first movie with the first killer. But there's a whole segment in this movie where it has nothing to do with the killer at all. She's like, all right, well, if I'm gonna die, I'm gonna kill myself. So it's these fun ways of killing herself, because suicide, I don't know, it made me laugh, but I'm sure people would be like, how could you joke? And to where they're coming from, they're probably completely justified. But for me, I don't know, I'm a twisted motherfucker, so it made me laugh. And that's gonna be a positive or a negative depending on what you want from this movie, where you're coming from. The killer felt like kind of a side note, a cliff note. A cliff note in this sequel to a movie that was a slasher movie. I felt like there's a killer in here because there needs to be a killer in here because the first movie had a killer. The whole thing with Happy Death Day to You is that it delves deeper into its lore, or its science. How did this loop start? How did it happen? What caused it to happen? How can we fix it? And it didn't start with a killer. So the killer, like I said, cliff note. There are things that I'm just not invested in and don't buy in this movie, like the boyfriend element. She seems to really care about this dude, and I don't feel like she does care about this dude. You're dating in college, and it's easy to be like, well, you've been dating for a day, technically speaking. But for her, they've been dating for more than a day. For her, they've been dating for as long as she was in the time loop, which I think she said she died like 14 times, something like that. So they've been dating for 2 weeks. Still probably don't buy it. That's 2 weeks. What? I just feel like this movie asks you to be more invested in those two than you really can. And I said before, and I'll say it again, Jessica Rothe is really good. She's just really talented. She's charismatic in these Happy Death Day movies. She has good timing, comedic timing, and when she has to have a scene that kind of hits the heartstrings, she turns on the waterworks, and it works, because she works. There is one scene where there's some feels dropping. Man, I was getting the man tears. I was getting the, I'm not crying, you're crying. Shut up, stupid. If you don't feel something, if you don't kind of like well up and empathize in this scene, I don't know. Maybe you're an asshole. Like, just maybe you're a dick. Being an asshole is your way of navigating the world. I get it. It's an asshole-ish world out there. One has to be an asshole or a dick to navigate the asshole. But yeah, I was just feeling that scene. It was good. Guys, in the end, Happy Death Day to You, it goes in a new direction. It's not as easily enjoyable as Happy Death Day was. Happy Death Day was simple. Killer killing people, kills this girl who relives that same day until she unmasks the killer and solves the mystery. The thing I fault the movie on most is the fact that it didn't know when to shut up. It's like, you know those people that don't know when to shut up? It's like they make a good point and they keep talking and their point starts to fall apart. I actually do that a lot. That's why I use jump cuts. Point is, if this movie had wrapped up when this movie looked like it was going to wrap up, it would have been better. So the whole time you're watching this aftermath that's taking place after the movie should have ended, you're like, I don't care, sweet. All right, now can we end? Then when it ends, it's just really anticlimactic. End credits come on, you're like, oh, I guess that's how it's gonna end. Biggest flaw of the movie is that. Regardless, looking past that, I enjoyed Happy Death Day to You. I enjoyed Happy Death Day. I'm looking forward to the third one. In fact, if they stick the landing to the third one and they go in the direction it looks like they're pointing towards going, this could be an enjoyable trilogy that actually transcends the genre that started it out. It's pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to that. So I will say Happy Death Day to You was a good time. No alcohol required. All right, so Happy Death Day to You. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below. Let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.